Now, I hope I don't mess up on this reading, y'all. Second Temple. This is dealing with the fake Jews versus the real Jews is what I'm trying to bring out. And it's going to take me a minute to be able to break a lot of, or at least try to break this stuff down. But I want to read some stuff to you all that maybe I can bring it out better when I read it. According to the book of Ezra, construction of the second temple was authorized by Cyrus the Great and began in 538 BCE after the fall of the Babylonian Empire. The year before it was completed, and 23 years later, on the third day of Adar in the 6th year of the reign of Darius Darius the Great, in March 515 BCE. Now, Darius the Great, we have to understand why these things were great. That means it wasn't good. It was nothing about these kingdoms during this time that was good. They was great, but not good. There's a difference between great and good. You see what I'm saying? So that's why the Most High said in Isaiah 58:2, I think, eat ye that which is good. Isaiah 55:2, why do you spend money for that which is not bread? Eat that which is good. So we know that Darius he was great, but he wasn't good. Darius the Great, March the 12th, 515 BCE, and dedicated it by the Jewish governor Zerubbabel. However, with a full reading of the book of Ezra and the book of Nehemiah, there were edited to build the second temple, which was issued by three kings, Cyrus, that was the king of Persia, Cyrus in 536 BCE, which is recorded in the full chapter of Ezra. Next, Darius of Persia in 519 BCE, which is recorded in the 6th chapter of Ezra. Third, Artaxerxes of Persia in 457 BCE, which was the 7th year of his reign. And in recording in the 7th chapter of Ezra, finally by Artaxerxes again in 444 BCE, in the 2nd chapter of Nehemiah. Also, despite the fact that the new temple was not as an extravagant of imposing as its producers or proceeders, it is still dominant. The Jerusalem skyline remained in the important structure throughout the time of Persia. Moreover, the temple narrowly avoided being destroyed. Again, in 332 BCE, the Jews refused to acknowledge the defection of Artaxerxes the Great of Madonna. Alexander was allegedly turned from his anger as the last minute what is the world is this? As the two, okay, let's see here. Okay, the book of Artaxerxes is dealing with the rebuilding of the temples in Jerusalem. According to the book of Ezra, construction of the second temple was authorized by Cyrus the Great and began in 538 BCE after the fall of the Babylonian Empire. The year before it was completed, and 23 years later. On the 3rd day of Adar, in the 6th year of the reign of Darius the Great, March the 12th, 515 BCE, dedicated by the Jewish governor Zerubbabel. However, with a full reading of the book of Ezra and the book of Nehemiah, there were 4 edicts to build the second temple, which was issued by 3 kings, Cyrus in 536 BCE, which is recorded in the 1st chapter of Ezra. Next, Darius of Persia in 519 BCE, which is recorded in the 6th chapter of Ezra. In the 6th chapter of Ezra. Let's go there. Let's see if we can get some kind of which is the 6th chapter of Ezra. Then Darius the king made a decree, and search was made in the house of the rolls, where the treasures were laid up in Babylon. And there was found at Anarchment in the palace that is in the province of the Medes, a roll, and therein was a record thus written: in the 1st year of Cyrus, the king of the same, Cyrus, the king made a decree concerning the house of God at Jerusalem. Let the house be built. Let the house be built, and the place where they offered sacrifices, and let the foundation thereof be strongly laid, and the heights thereof 80 cubits. That means 60 cubits, and the breadth thereof 80 cubits. So they was coming together to rebuild the temple of Jerusalem, because the fake Jews came in and was trying to they destroyed it in 70 AD and ran the Jews out of Jerusalem in 70 AD, which was their homeland. And the real Jews had to go to Africa and flee from the Romans. They had to flee from the Roman Catholics. They had to flee from persecution out of their own homeland. And that's why God says that he will have mercy upon Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. That means he's going to come back and he's going to set his people. He's going to set the record straight, and he's going to put everybody back where they belong. He's going to separate the sheep from the goat. People say the Most High don't separate, but these Christianity churches have taught you that the Most High don't separate. But the purpose of this here, with these rolls of great stones and a roll of new timbers, and let the expenses be given out of the king's house, and also let the gold and silver vessels of the house of God, which Nebuchadnezzar took forth out of the temple, which is at Jerusalem. See, Jerusalem, they came in and Babylon, America came in and destroyed us as a people of color. They took our land from us. You see what I mean? They took our land, they stole our land, they stole our culture, they stole everything. And also let the gold, silver vessels of the house of God, which Nebuchadnezzar took forth out of the temple, which is at Jerusalem, and brought unto Babylon. That's America. See what I'm saying? Brought unto America, and be restored and brought again unto the temple, which is at Jerusalem, even every one to his place, and placed them in the house of God. Okay, let me read that again. This is Ezra chapter 6 and verse 5. Also let the gold and silver vessels of the house of God, which Nebuchadnezzar took forth out of the temple, which is at Jerusalem, and brought unto Babylon, and be restored and brought again unto the temple, which is at Jerusalem, and everyone to his place, and place them in the house of God. Now therefore, Tadniah the governor, beyond the river of Shabashani, and your companions, and I don't even know how to even say that word, which are beyond the river, be ye far from hence. Let the work of this house of God alone. Let the governor of the Jews and the elders of the Jews build this house of God in his place. Moreover, I will make a decree what ye shall do to the elders of these Jews for the building of the house, of this house of God, and that of the king's goods, even of the tribute beyond the river. The forthwith expenses be given unto these men. The forthwith expenses be given unto these men, that they be not hindered. And they which have need of both young bullocks and rams and lambs for the burnt offerings of the God of heaven, what salt, wine, and oil, according to the appointment of the priests which are at Jerusalem, let it be given them day by day without fail. Okay, let's go to Jeremiah. Let me go to Jeremiah chapter 14. Jeremiah 14, excuse me. Jeremiah 4, did I say it wrong? Jeremiah 14, verse 1. The word of the Lord that came to Jerusalem concerning the daring. Judah mourning, and the gates thereof languish. That means no leader. And they are black unto the ground. See that? The people that own Jerusalem, the fake Jews that's over there in Jerusalem now, they not the real Jew, because he said they are black unto the ground. And the cry of Jerusalem is going up. Judah mourning, that means we're in mourning and we're crying. Why do you think in the Bible, in Psalms chapter 137 says that, Psalm 137 verse 1 says, when we sat by the rivers of Babylon, there we wept. You see what I'm saying? The Jews are in hurting, they're in mourning. Judah mourning, and the gates thereof languish. That means no leader. They are black unto the ground, and the city of Jerusalem is going up. So he said that the city of Jerusalem is going up. So, and their nobles have set their little ones to the waters. They came to the pits and found no water. They returned with their vessels empty. They were ashamed and confounded, and covered their heads, because the ground is chopped, for there was no rain in the earth. And pillow men were ashamed. They covered their faces. They covered their heads. This is probably gonna be a horrible video, man. Yea, the hand. Yea, the head also, the calf in the field forsook it, because there was no grass. And the wild asses did stand in the high places. And they stifted up the wind like dragons. Their eyes did fail, because there was no grass. So the real Jews are in mourning. Let's look at Jeremiah. I think it's Jeremiah 4:3. Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 16. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of its inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name. Okay, let's go to Isaiah. I think I'm gonna stop it right here when I'm done, once I'm done, because I think every time I get ready to do something, to read something, look like I start off horrible. Like, you know, it just feels like it's horrible. And I be trying to, it's like I'm trying to educate my people as well as I'm trying to instill more understanding in myself. See, they claim in January the 31st that people can't share videos directly on their websites, and the reason for that is they working hard because they don't want people to have a voice no way. That's why the enemy made war with me at birth, because he wanted to take away my ability to be able to catch on and understand the words and stuff, because he knows exactly what I'll be doing to this day. That's why the enemy always made war with his chosen people, because he know that what I would have done with this voice that I have. And that's why I'm coming out and I'm speaking out against it. And the reason why a lot of us is lost is because we don't do no research. We don't even try. You see what I'm saying? We got all the knowledge advanced in the world. We can read, write, and stuff, because during those days, during the time of the slave, we couldn't do that. But you have a lot of our people, they don't even want to look up nothing. They don't want to consider nothing. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy upon Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. He said, for the Lord will have mercy upon Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. So it's going to come a time to where he's going to set us in our own land. Now, what is the land? Let me go back to Psalms 37. Let's go to Psalm 137. Psalms 137. Look what it says. Psalm 137, verse 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom, the day of remember, O Lord, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughters of Babylon, who art thou to destroy? Happy shall he be that rewardeth thee, as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that takest and dashest thy little ones against the stone. Verse 1 of Psalms 37. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down, yet we wept, when we remembered Zion. It says, verse 4, how shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning. See, Jerusalem is the Holy Land that he's going to put us back in. So I can't remember all of the scripts right now, but I'm going to stop it right here. Hopefully y'all got something out of that. Hopefully I wasn't stumbling too much.